What's up, guys? Kevin Goetz here from Mute Profit, helping you achieve musical success. Today, we're talking about how to book a tour if you're an independent musician. And we're going to start hypothetically with one live show, and then I'll expand on this principle. And I'm going to go ahead and ask you guys if you have a method that works well for you booking shows, or whatever your method may be, leave it in the comments. Let's start a discussion on various strategies and see if we can all learn something from this. So first, let's identify what the big problems are in general with booking shows. And I think it's fairly inarguable that the biggest issue comes from getting people to actually show up at the show, right? You know, most people will put up flyers around town and post on Facebook like, hey guys, come to my show. By the way, you coming to my show? Come to my show. I have a show, did you know that? You should really come to my... And that just doesn't work anymore. It might have worked back in 2011. It doesn't seem to do much good now. And if you're thinking about touring, if you're going outside of your local city, then you're even more screwed here if you can't even get people who are local to you to come to your show. So let's look at a strategy to fix that problem. So step one is to determine the venue that you want to play at. So that would require emailing various local venues or venues within the city you're targeting. Find out, what equipment they have. Find out what their policies are on ticket sales, on minimums, on how many people you need to bring in, and then we get to work. So what city in what state is the venue in? You're going to run a Facebook ad with the objective of video views to that city. So in my case, I live in St. Louis, Missouri. So I would target St. Louis. And this is just going to be like a music video, right? Like pick my best song, shoot a video for it, run an ad. Now, because you're targeting such a small place, you might not be able to do the normal method of targeting sound-alike bands. So normally I would target like Nightwish, Epica, Delane, symphonic metal bands. I might just have to go symphonic metal as a genre. Like, you want bigger names here rather than like the small niche targeting that you would otherwise be doing to kind of make up for the fact that you have chopped off so much of the population from even seeing your ad. Make it clear in the post that you're using with this video, like I would say, symphonic metal from St. Louis, Missouri. And the reason I would do this is that there aren't a lot of symphonic metal bands that I'm aware of anywhere near me. So it also has this added bonus of being a novelty, and you might get some similar effect. You might not if you're playing a genre that's oversaturated in your scene, but it's still good to say where you're from, right? I would start this campaign at about a month before your show, and I would let this ad run for about the first 2 weeks at $5 a day. $10 a day if you have the budget, but $5 is like safe if you're kind of broke. Next, you're going to create a custom audience after about 2 weeks. And I will, of course, make tutorials on how to do all these things, but this is just an overview, and you can also Google it, Facebook custom audiences. And the criteria for this custom audience is they must have watched 25% or more of the video you've been running to your city. The reason we do this is that it is a safe bet that these are people who are really liking the music, because if you hate it, you're gonna watch about 2 seconds and then click off, right? Let's be honest. There might be some exceptions, people who watch it all the way through and still hate it, gave you the benefit of the doubt, but trust me, that is enough of a minority that you're totally safe to do this. You would then run another ad to this custom audience. And this ad is just you talking to your camera like, hey guys, we're doing a tour. We're going to be hitting up these venues near you. If you enjoy the music, don't miss out. And I don't have specific costs that I can recommend. $5 a day is safe. You would have to watch the frequency, which is a metric that shows how many times a single person has been shown this ad. If your frequency is up really high, like 4, 5, 10, then you want to scale your budget back because it means you have so few people that it's just looping the ad to the same people who aren't responding. Anyway, so it's a two-step approach that I would use using Facebook ads. Get people into the music, get them really enjoying it, and then ask them to come to your show. And assuming your music is good enough and you have your targeting good enough that you got enough people interested, that should be all you need to do. End of story. You will get way more people through the door than you spent getting them to come to the door. What? Hold on. You will make back and profit in merch sales and in ticket sales easily what you spent on your advertising. Now, the really interesting thing is, once that is guaranteed, once you have had this experience one time and you know for sure what works, you literally just scale it up. You would book multiple shows a day apart and then run this same 4-week sequence a day apart. Now, the problem is when you're targeting multiple cities, it can get a little bit scary here. Okay, and the reason for that is that hypothetically, you would have to be running these 4-week sequences for multiple tour dates, and there's going to be overlap, and you're going to be spending way more money at once than you expected. Like, you will make it all back, and then some, but where before you were spending $5 a day on one show, you're now spending $20 a day on 4 shows. Maybe you don't have $20 a day to spend before making some of it back. So you have a couple of options. You can either scale back your budget and risk bringing fewer people to the shows, which is okay as long as you're meeting the venue's minimum, or you can go big and target statewide instead of citywide. Because, you know, some people who are diehard fans of a certain genre, if a band comes through that's playing that kind of music in a starved local scene, they will cross city lines to go see it. The good news is that a lot of this is repeatable. Meaning, once you have this custom audience created of people in X state that like your music, you don't have to go through this again. You can just run an ad to that custom audience again every time you come through there. So to book like an actual tour, okay? So you're crossing multiple state lines now. What I would do then is stagger your campaigns by a week and try to play multiple shows within the state over that week. If you can book 7 shows per state, it starts to get a lot easier to reallocate your budget as this show is over. That leaves you with an ample amount of time to start running your second ad to the next state, and it just kind of cycles like that. So yeah, that is what I do. That is what works for me personally. Please, if you have ever booked a tour or a show and you have a different method that works well for you, please leave it in the comments. Let's start a discussion about how we do this, okay? And, yeah, I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. I have new videos on music marketing coming out every Wednesday, as well as other music lessons of various types coming out every single day. That includes songwriting, instrumentation, creative mindsets, audio engineering, everything you could possibly need. I aim to make this channel the single destination for anything and everything you will need to achieve success in music.